tuned into another episode of Not the Average Local Rapper, hosted by yours truly, Short Ridge. This episode, I want to talk about the feedback and the comments, the positive and the negative, and just just how to embrace that and how to deal with that. We all deal with things differently individually, so maybe not so much how to deal with it, but just the understanding of that, like, this is a part of it now. Once upon a time, it was like before social media and the internet and all that. Um, the only way you really knew firsthand how people felt about your music was if they told you face to face, or if you just heard through hearsay or whatever. But now, with social media and all this shit, it's like we at a time where people can say whatever they want to whoever they want from behind the screen, and people will do that. And people show love, and people do the opposite and say some wild shit for real. But that's a part of it now. It's like us as creators. That's the one thing we pretty much gotta accept, that like when you put your content out there, like, it is definitely subject to get commented on, good or bad. So it's like it's just about how you deal with it. And me, of course I embrace the positive. You know, and just me personally, that's the majority of what I get, because I think when it comes down to it, like, it's about the energy you put out there and the type of content that you put out there. Like, it generally dictates what type of response you're gonna get. And it's also about who you target. Shit like that. So everybody gonna get negative from time to time, and I do, but like, as far as the positive though, like I said, which is mostly what I get, like, it's important to let the people that support you know that you appreciate it. So I definitely try to always comment back, even if it's just a couple emojis and shit. Like, I just want people to know that I acknowledge that they showing love and supporting what I got going on, because I run a lot of ads and shit, so most of the feedback and response I get, even DMs and certain comments, be from complete strangers that just ran across my ad and shit, man. And it's like, they ain't gotta say shit, man. Don't nobody owe me nothing. So just the fact that anybody would take the time to say some positive shit and to let me know that they appreciate what I'm doing, it's definitely worth an acknowledgement. So granted, I probably don't do it 100% of the time, because it's just like, man, some days, you just ain't on it as much as others. But yeah, just all in all, man, I definitely try to let the people that say positive shit know that I appreciate what they're saying. And it's like, even me, I not for any particular reason besides it's just in my nature. But I when I see ads, if I fuck with something, man, I try to make sure I always show love, you know what I mean? Because as artists, like, that's the type of shit that's going to keep motivating us and driving us to create good music and good content and shit. But of course, with all the good positive shit comes the negative. The people that just feel like they gotta say some shit to shit on somebody, man. And it's a lot of people in the world like that, man. Cause it's like you got you got constructive criticism, which I'll, get into as well. But then you just got straight up negativity and trolling, as they call it. Like, people just really saying shit just because, like I said, they behind the screen and they can do that. You know what I mean? And of course, I'm sure they really feel like that, but it's just, people just reached a certain level of boldness and just, what I mean? I don't even know any other word. Just people get real bold, and just say the most outlandish shit, man. It's like, like I said, I don't really receive a whole lot of it, but when I see it in other artists' comments, man, it's discouraging, man. Like, not so much to me personally, but just like it's discouraging the culture and the game for real. Like, it's like, man, like, all right, if it ain't your thing, it ain't your thing, but like, you ain't gotta shit on what somebody's trying to do, man. You don't know what people put into this shit or what they had to sacrifice, or what the effect of what somebody saying some crazy shit to them can have on them, and what they would how they respond to it and all that. So it's like when it comes to that shit, like I said, I've had people say wild shit to me and shit. Um, I delete that shit, bro, straight up, man. Like, I got people that told me, like they keep the hate around or keep the negative shit around, you know what I mean? Just 'cause it motivate them. Like, I mean, more power to them people, man. But shit, if you negative, I'm getting you the fuck up out of there, like, because I can, you know what I mean? It's my shit. Like, I don't give a damn what anybody think or feel about it. Like, if I don't like what somebody say, for whatever reason, I'm getting that shit up out of there. Like, just cause I got the pride, that's my prerogative to do that. And I just don't like to feed and indulge in negativity or have that shit lingering around me, like, um, the way I'm pushing shit, man, it's like, I just want things to be positive. It's not really being unrealistic. I mean, it would be being unrealistic if I ain't have no control over what I allowed to be in my space, And like I said, when you put shit out there, especially running ads, you subject to people saying whatever, but you also have control of, what you let continue to happen, or, if you let what somebody say, continue to be there. So, like I said, man, I get that shit up out of there. I delete it. I'm grown as shit, man. I ain't got time, to be feeding and indulging in the shit. And it's like, it's crazy because I'll see, like, um, certain famous rappers that I follow, or just celebrities in general. I mean, I might run across their page and shit, and it's like, these people get thousands of comments on their posts, and like most of them just be people that like idolize them, look up to them, appreciate their value to the entertainment world or whatever. To just say a lot of positive shit, but then you'll have some bad apples step in there and say some negative shit, and they be the ones that they actually respond to, and comment back to, and it's like, all right, I get it, like somebody struck a nerve and you feel like you gotta defend yourself. It's understandable. I mean, if that's how you carry it or whatever, like, everybody can't really avoid confrontation or avoid, people, saying certain shit, and getting under their skin and shit like that. But I I just feel like it's a slap in the face, like when you got so many people saying positive things, but you focus on, that one or two people that's saying negative shit, and it's like damn, like, the people that saying the positive shit, they would appreciate your response a whole lot more than somebody who clearly ain't a fan of you and don't give a fuck about you because they came on your post. Well, not saying they don't give a fuck about you because they kind of got to say some shit on your post, but somebody who ain't really a true supporter, and pretty much a hater, and letting it be known they is like, you got more time and energy for them than you do somebody who really supports you. Like that's my whole problem with that shit. So it's like I just feel like that's another reason why I feel like, just the negative shit don't even really deserve no response, man, because people will just take it so many directions, man. Like it ain't even always about like your actual content, that they'll say things about, like people will go in on anything, your appearance, your whatever, shit you ain't really got no type of control over. Just, what I mean? It's like, I don't want to call it bullying because I feel like, that's soft, man. Like, I'm older, and I grew up, like, not to get like too personal and off topic, but like, how I grew up, man. Like, like I did get teased a lot as a kid, and I had to, learn to deal with that and defend myself from that, at a very young age. And I did find my way, and I think, that's pretty much, like what we all got to do, when it comes to dealing with the negativity from people. We just kind of got to find our defense mechanism, but one that ain't going to self-destruct, like, of course, you want to destruct the negativity that's in your way, but you don't want to destruct yourself in the process. So me personally, my choice is just, man, I get that negative shit up out of there, that trolling shit, like it's cool, I get it, like people get they shit off doing that, and if that's what you into, then I mean I can't say I respect it, but I accept it and I understand it, but that shit ain't allowed over here, man. Do that shit somewhere else. But like I said, you got negative shit trolling, but then you have like constructive criticism and people leaving suggestions, and they might say you need to work on something. I don't really consider that negative or hate or anything like that. Like that's kind of like its own little category. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily like nobody praising you or complimenting you, but it's like a motherfucker, like they got enough interest in your shit to let you know where they feel like you can improve at or something like that. I had people hit me and offer to do mixing and mastering. I'm assuming because they low key feel like my quality ain't up to par, and that's fine, man. I don't have a problem with nobody feeling no type of way about my shit, man. Like any type of way about my shit. Like that's what we do as humans. Like we hear shit and we process it, and like I've had people tell me like you could use better quality, or people and might told me like, yeah, you could rap with a little more energy on certain shit, and it's like, hey man, like I don't have no problem with people saying how they feel about shit. I might not always apply it, but there's things that people have suggested that I do apply. So I mean, I think the constructive criticism is, I think it's more I don't want to say it's more valuable or it's worth more than any of the other shit, even the positive shit. But I just want to say like it what it's more useful, I guess. Like like somebody leaving a bunch of fire emojis, or saying like a couple words, letting you know that this shit is dope or whatever, like that's meaningful. You know what I mean? It's definitely meaningful. But when somebody say, "Oh yeah, you got mad potential," but I feel like like you could tighten your flow up a little bit, or you could rap with a little more energy, or better beat selection, or whatever the case may be. It's like that's not like I said, that's not praise or anything, but like it's more useful because it's like it's letting you know like somebody listen to you and they hear something that they feel like you can improve on, and if somebody willing to take the time to tell you to do that, it's like A, they feel some some type, you got some type of potential, and then like B, shit, I don't even know what B is, like it's just a sign that like somebody actually took the time, like I was saying, so yeah, it's pretty much like how I would look at that. Like, what I mean? I don't think it's really, like I said, it ain't nothing that you like obligated to apply or nothing. Like, people have told me shit like, yeah, man, you need to have a little more energy when you rap, like, or, like when I've done videos or shows or whatever, you need to move around more, man, get a little more hype. But it's like, and I get it, I get what people saying when they say that, but it's like, I also know that I'm not gonna do that because that's not in my nature. If it was, then I'd probably already be doing it. But it's like, the way I do shit sometimes is for a reason. But if somebody will suggest like a certain recording technique, or something that may more so be a tool more so than like trying to like be like a makeover, because it's like, I've been doing this shit way too long to where like I'm gonna actually like change my style or certain things about me that make me the the artist that and the individual that I am, like that might not so much be an option, but somebody might offer some type of feedback as to how I can improve something much more so than like change it, I guess, like just improve on it, enhance it, shit like that. But and I think that's the type of feedback that matters the most. I think it all matters, even the negative shit and the trolling, like that shit matters because it's like like I said, even though people might do shit in an immature way or whatever the case may be, it's like they really feel like that. So it's like it might not make you change anything, but it'll let you know like all right, this is the type of individuals that I don't really need to be targeting my music towards, like and like a troll is a troll. They come in all forms, like it ain't no type one type of motherfucker that defines what a troll is, like but I mean, like I said, I just I delete that shit, man. Like I ain't got time for it, man. Like I said, I get that people do it and they gonna continue to do it, but with me it's like, man, I ain't got time for the negativity because that shit can really it can drain you, you know what I mean, and it can sidetrack you from doing things that can make you more productive and allow you to keep providing for the people that do support you and do give you the positive energy. And so I think all in all, the message is just like embrace it all. Don't I wouldn't really harp on any of it too much or think too much of any of it, but I mean only the shit that really is gonna like help and make you feel better and, make you want to, motivate you and shit like that. The shit that can, affect you in a negative way, I think, the best thing to do would be to just, try to eliminate it. I mean, of course, like I said, it's gonna happen, to the best of us, but it's just more so about how you handle it than it is what people say, like what people say, we ain't got no control over, but how we handle shit, that's what we got control over. So, feedback is a part of this shit. Like I said in the beginning, though, man. Like, like we in a time where we put out that shit. I can't even really, talk too much today, but we put our shit literally out there for the whole world, to see, and we just gotta, accept it. Like, people are gonna have things to say, and some of it's gonna be good, some of it's gonna be bad, some of it might not really be either, but that's a part of the game. So just embrace it the best way you can, and try to, use it to, drive you forward. With that being said, it's been another episode of Not the Average Local Rapper, hosted by yours truly, Eshaw Ridge. If you made it this far, I appreciate you, and come through for the next one, man.